What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GunplaCave. My host Sean and John here. John is back. Thanks, John, for hopping on again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time off of OnlyFans to come talk about Gundam.
I just gotta get that content going.
Cool. So today's topic, we're going to talk about kind of just Gundam video games and also just mainly focusing on two upcoming video games, Evolution and Battle Alliance, which are two games that we both have kind of watched the trailers and kind of did our research a little bit. And we both kind of have different opinions about it. And also, I kind of just wanted to talk about if we've played any Gundam video games in the past and like what our expectations are. So John, have you played any Gundam games in the past before these upcoming titles are about to release?
I've played Gundam Battle Operations 2 for a little bit. It was pretty interesting. I liked the mechs. It was a little darker than I expected. I kind of like my Gundams a little bit more brighter and more kind of just popping against all the like dark space or like just washed out Earth.
It's
So
darker. Do you mean like the art style for the Gundams?
yeah, the like all the Gundams and the scenery just were all kind of like muted and darker. I kind of like if my Gundams popped a little bit more
Okay.
to make
So
them like a little to make them more what should I say? To make them pop against the background, like not have them blend into it.
so make them kind of stand out because I mean
Yeah,
Gundams stand out. Like they're literally like white, blue, red, yellow. They have all these colors to them, which is hilarious because they're military, you
yeah,
know.
and if like they're against like space, you don't want them to blend. Well, I guess you would want them because you're fighting, but you would like to see your suit pop out. It's like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Because I have also played battle operations and I agree with you. They kind of tried to go for like a really realistic kind of vibe with the graphics and everything. And I mean, I applaud them for the effort that they put into.
Yeah, it
And I mean,
looked
what
very, very nice.
yeah, and what they achieved, what they were going for, sounds like they hit it right on the mark. For me personally, I kind of agree with you. I like my Gundams to pop. I like them to. I like how colorful they are. I like the different iterations. So I can agree with you about the art style. What did you think of the gameplay?
The gameplay was uh, certainly interesting because uh, when you actually fought someone else, you actually had like weight and like real like timed movements. You didn't and just go into a battle and just like guns blazing or like mindlessly slashing. You actually had to plan.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'll be honest, I didn't play it a whole lot because it's free, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because when I played it, it was free. I just downloaded it off the PlayStation Store and just hopped on real quick. And I was like, okay, I like the graphics. I like the whole, like, unlocking this, like the way you can build up and progress. But the art style did kind of throw me off a little bit. And I don't know, the menu and the hub were just kind of a mess. I don't know if you thought the same thing.
Um, the menu, it was a little bit of a mess. The hub, like it's kind of like any normal hub where it's just a lot of people in one spot. So it didn't really bother me.
I don't know.
Um,
I feel like the tutorial didn't do the best job. Like, I don't, it just felt like so much was thrown at me, but I didn't really know where to go from that. It's like, okay, do I want to just keep doing like training? Do I want to like just hop into a match real quick? Like, or was there a story mode to it or no? I can't.
let me think. I think there was some sort of story mode, but I didn't follow it. I just wanted to hop into matches, so that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, granted, I did not play a lot of this game. I literally just hopped on, did a couple of matches, did some training, and yeah, it was cool. It's not something that I see myself playing a lot or investing a lot of time in. So
Yeah. I didn't put any money into it, or I didn't like put much time into it. I just wanted to see what it was all
Oh,
about.
hell no. You got to save that money for the MILFs, right?
Yeah, man. Like, who else would I spend it on?
Yeah. So it sounds like our experiences are pretty similar in terms of like Gundam games because I haven't played any of the really older ones.
I haven't either. They were like, I think they're just like too old for me.
Yeah. So I think this podcast is going to end up being like what we expect going into like these newer games as kind of semi newer fans and what we want to see, I guess is kind of like how this podcast is going to go.
All right. Well, yes, I'll ask you, what are your opinions on uh Gundam Evolutions first?
Oh, so we're going to start off with evolution.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So right off the bat, it definitely caught my eye in a good way. I think the art style is a little bit better here than it was in operations. And it's because like it's kind of like how we both agreed. I to Gundams to me, they're kind of cartoony, but like they're cartoony in like an anime way. Like they have that charm to them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is captured a little bit better in this than it was in operations. And then the other thing that caught my eye was just like it's just literally taking so much inspiration from like Call of Duty, like the way the matches are like going and like the gameplay that was showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if they're just gonna like straight up just go that route and just like do a lot of like do kill streaks in their way and perks in their way, or if they're gonna like do completely different. They're gonna like add their own mechanics or adjustments and like how the progression system is gonna work. Cause I don't think we've gotten that much info about it besides like, just gameplay and maybe a release date. I'd honestly, I don't know if there is a release date for it, but I the other thing is it's going to be free, so that's a plus because not having to pay is really nice. But
Oh yeah.
there also might be microtransactions, which if it's just cosmetics, it wouldn't really bother me. But if it's like in a way, if they're just going to go EA and make it to where like you have to do this in order to like play the game
Oh,
good or do
I hate
well,
that.
yeah, if they do that, then I'm out. Like, I will not be spending any money, spending any time in this game. But again, we don't know. I'm just saying if they do that, which
Yeah.
hopefully they won't. Because isn't Bandai, is it Bandai or Capcom who's making
It's Bandai.
Bandai's making it? Okay. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But I think it has the potential to be a really well made first person, third person shooter because I think you can switch between the two, but I think it's mostly first person.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I could see myself having a lot of fun with this game. So, I'm kind of going with like kind of mid to high expectations for it because I feel like I could see myself having a lot of fun with it, but maybe getting a little bit bored with it later on.
I can see
But
that.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the progression system will be really good. The way that maybe there's like a lot of customization, some cool cosmetics that you can throw in there. I don't know. Like I'm just gonna leave it in kind of mid to high expectations. What about you?
Um, like you said, it did catch my eye, so it was very appealing. It was also interesting that they tried to go into first person because that kind of makes you feel like you're piloting the actual robot itself, and I think that's always a cool thing to have, like to actually pilot it. I mean, who doesn't want to like pilot a big giant robot?
Right?
And so I thought that was pretty cool. I also thought the classes were cool and diverse. Like you got a sniper who's mostly for shooting, you got a close combat person, you got someone who's mid,
Got
you
some
got someone who doesn't fight a
Xeons.
lot. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and like you said, if microtransactions are for just like cosmetics or something, if they look cool, I'll probably get it. If it's something that I don't really care about, like say like, oh, we'll give you like a full yellow uh color. Like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, I rarely spend money on like cosmetics, but like it has to really catch my eye. Like if I look at the menu and I'm like, I need that, I have to have that on my character. I have
Yeah,
to have it. Then I will do it as long as it's not stupidly overpriced.
yeah. And also I just also love seeing my Gundams in their full form.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it just has a lot of potential to be good. And I'm hoping it's really good. I'm hoping it doesn't go the way of operations, where to me, operations, like once you did the tutorial, it was kind of like you're on your own. Like I kind of
Yeah.
like following a storyline because when I played operations, I was like, okay, where's the next marker? Or where's the next anything? It's kind of like I'm left on my own now.
Right. And I think that's one of the main reasons why my time playing it was just cut so short because I was just like, I honestly just felt so lost. Like, so
And so I do like playing a story mode. Uh, for the people who like playing the story mode, I like playing it. I know there are some people who don't care for the story mode at all, but I like a story mode.
yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a story. My guess is probably not since it's free. I feel like it's just going to be like online multiplayer, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, like if there's even like just a hint of it, like they'll do like the first season, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah. So it sounds like our opinions are kind of the same, except you're really holding out for a story mode. And I mean, I'm just not even gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna act like there isn't gonna be one. But if there
Yeah,
is gonna
like
be
I
one,
mean,
that'd be cool.
yeah, like I'm not saying like if there isn't one, I'm gonna be like, oh, this game is trash, I hate it.
you're just
But
gonna you're gonna riot
yeah,
if there's no story mode.
I'm just gonna go on Twitter and Instagram and be like, there was no story mode. What the H?
What the age? No, you can't say hell anymore. You get canceled for
No,
saying that.
man. Gotta think of the 12-year-olds
I
who are gonna
gotta.
watch this.
Oh, the children. um. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna freak out either if they don't have it. But I mean, it. Like I said, it'd be cool if they did have it, and if they don't, then I'm just really hoping that the gameplay's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll go move on to the other game that's gonna come out.
Yes, Battle Alliance SD, which I'll be honest, like this game caught my eye, which is funny because me and you have had this conversation. We mentioned this in the last episode, how we both aren't really big fans of the SD Gundam show, and like just kind of the design overall kind of throws us off a little bit.
Yeah.
But for me, part of the reason why I don't like that design that they did back in like the early 2000s was they like made it super cartoony with like the eyes and the mouth, and it just looked like trash. Like it looked like
Yeah.
it just
It was not a pleasant
it
experience.
was just hot dumpster fire. Like it was awful. I mean, the show was bad too. Like the writing and stuff was terrible, but I mean the design, like yeah, the design was just that was the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah. Of course, it did have a couple of funny moments, but other than that, it was like really trash.
Well, it's those funny moments to where like this isn't actually the right like you're not laughing because like the writers are like wrote good comedy. You're laughing because of how fucking stupid it is. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um but the thing with this game though is that like they don't have that. And I mean, it seems like they're kind of embracing this whole like toy Gundam design, which I really like. I like from the set pieces that have been shown in the gameplay and stuff. It looks like it's literally looks like just like these toy Gundams fighting, which I think is really cool.
Uh, for me, uh, just any kind of chibi version kind of just throws me off. Like I'm not saying I just like chibi forms. I can get used to them certainly, but for me, it just kind of throws me off. But I do like how these kind of toy versions don't have any eyes. It's just pure green or pure red. I do like that.
Yeah, I feel like
Makes it
if there
more
were
look realistic and like actually like a tank, not like just some person in a costume or something.
Yeah, I feel like if there were eyes, they would. I would. I wouldn't even play it. Just like, nope, not touching that game. Nope, nope.
And it actually uh, like they're embracing what evolution is trying to do, more of a actually military military kind of fighting game, not like, oh, we're just a couple of toys and just plow through a bunch of enemies.
Yeah. So kind of going into that, kind of going into the gameplay side of things, from what I've seen and like what it looks like, it's going to be like this kind of third person, like melee slash shooter. Cause I mean, Gundams have both. They have melee weapons and they have like rifles and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if they can like find a way to make the combat system like not make it interesting enough to where it won't get boring after like the 10th match or whatever.
Yeah.
I like there's a way they can do that. It's just they just have to find a way to do it to make the combat like replayable, which I mean it looks like they have a good chance of doing it with like the setup they have and like just the like a lot of basic fighting mechanics mixed with shooting. I mean it could be really unique.
Yeah. And all the characters they showed in the opening, it looks like they have a bunch already kind of molded already or like 3D printed already. And all the characters that I saw in the opening were pretty solid that I liked.
Yeah. So actually kind of what you how you were saying you really want a story mode in Evolutions. I think there is a story mode in this one.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I think the whole plot behind it is that like you go through like different Gundam timelines and you basically fight like these fake Gundams and then you kind of like fix the time like the timeline. So kind of like
Oh,
have you ever played Xenoverse? Like
of
Dragon
course I have.
I think it's like that where you play through like famous scenes in Dragon Ball but with Gundam. So,
Oh, that'll be interesting. It almost was like that is almost like operations because operations or no, was it operations? No, it was a different Gundam game that it only let you play through certain bits and pieces of the story mode and just kind of fix it, but you didn't really fix it. It was kind of just like more like making sure the timeline flowed the correct way.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's and I mean, honestly, another reason, a lot of it is honestly just going to be fan service, like just seeing all these, like all your favorite designs. Like I saw like Epion in SD form fighting and stuff like that. I feel
Oh yeah,
like,
I saw that.
yeah, just like a lot of it's just going to be like pure fan service. Like you have to be a Gundam fan to enjoy this game. I feel like if somebody just picked it up and was just like, it wouldn't interest them. Like this game is made for like mech and Gundam fans, like strictly.
Yeah, for to get into a Gundam game, you do have to have some kind of knowledge. You can't just go in there total newbie and be like, "Oh, this looks interesting. Well, what are all these
Well,
characters? I don't know what's going on."
yeah, you could. You just be like, oh, these small robots are fighting. This is cool. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but say like if you had like a connection like you do with Epion and seeing that, it's like it's gonna get you so hyped because that's your favorite Gundam and you see it do badass shit.
yeah. That is true. Yeah, I again, it's just like a matter of like you have to kind of. I feel like you have to at least be a fan of the anime and the kits to probably like invest into like these type of games.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I am hopeful for it. Uh, the chibi forms will kind of get me time to get used to, but I'll probably if the gameplay is good, I'll probably just get used to it. Just like with any game, you'll just get used to it.
Yeah. And like I said, like what we were like what we were saying earlier about like games coming out this year is that like this is one of the like so far this is one of the only games I see myself picking up and when I do this and the new One Piece game, but that's a topic for another time. But yeah, when I do pick this up, I'll definitely we'll definitely have to play through together and see how it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'd be a good video to do. Maybe a future gameplay video in the future.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. But yeah, so that's kind of your final thoughts on Battle Alliance.
Yes.
Is not a fan of the chibi style, but still hopeful.
Yes, I'm still hopeful for it.
Okay, I can understand that, and I mean, with chibi style, it doesn't bother me. It's just like it is a change, but like I've been exposed to it so much in like Pokemon and different anime that I've just kind of gotten used to it, and I do kind of dig it, but it's like not my favorite. I personally, and I would just rather have like regular like full size Gundams, but I mean, if they use it to their advantage, like if they use it to where like they're going to be like, oh, these toy Gundams are fighting, kind of like build fighters, they use that to their advantage in this game, then I'll probably get like, I'll be like, okay, I like the chibi style more specifically in this game than I would for the normal size Gundams if they have a good like uh background for it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, if they can hit a home run with this game, it could possibly topple Evolutions, but they have to have a good foundation. They can't just expect to people be like, "Oh, look at our game. Look how cool it is." You have to
Yeah.
have something to grab people.
Yeah, it can't just all be flashy. There has to be some substance to it.
Um, so uh what do you think the sales will be for Evolutions and SD? Do you think SD will output Evolutions, or do you think Evolutions will output SD just on base what you've
Well,
seen?
in terms of sales, I don't. That's a good question because well, it's an interesting question because Evolution is going to be free, so we don't know if they're going to like you know really bank on the cosmetics or if they're just going to go the shitty route and like really try to push microtransactions on us with with loot boxes and all this other bullshit. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, if they do, I feel like they're just going to lose more people than get more money. If we're being honest, like.
Yeah, people kind of have a thing with microtransactions.
And then as far as Battle Alliance, because I don't know if this game is actually going to be like if they're going to make a physical copy for it in the United States, because I looked into it and like I think you can only get it digitally. I may be wrong, and they may change that, but as far as from what I saw, I tried to look for like a physical copy of it, and I didn't see a whole lot of options. So it may be one of those games to where it comes out digital now, and then it's going to be physical. It's going to come out physically and digitally in like Japan, and then it's going to be only physical, or it's only going to be digital in the United States, and then later they're going to release it physically. But I don't know.
I,
Then
I really do hate that when they lock certain things to certain regions, like, oh, in Japan you can only do physical, and Europe you can only do digital, and the US you can only do it digital, and South America you can only do physical. I just hate that. It's like, why?
yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Like that's just from my personal experience. Like I looked up some pre-order bonuses for the game too because I was just curious, and I believe like GameStop and like the PlayStation Store are only offering digital. So yeah, again again I think it's really just going to depend on how the gameplay is and how they promote the game, and like I think it's what's going to kind of ultimately determine whether or not it does well with fans.
Yeah, because it could go the Google Stadia way, where it just came in and then left no shred of existence.
Yeah. And I mean, from what I've seen from a lot of previous Gundam games, is a lot of them I think are just made digital only just because like they're just so popular in like Japan, and they're popular here too, but like the main like audience for it is over there.
Yeah,
So I that may be another reason why I'm not 100%, but yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know because again, I definitely plan on picking up Battle Alliance, and I mean, I'll play Evolution since it's going to be free.
yeah,
So
that I'll definitely play Evolutions as well.
Yeah. So, and I don't think there's an actual release date. I know Alliance comes out next month. I think like later August is when it comes out. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below which game you are more excited for and just like what Gundam games in the past you've really enjoyed. Podcasts come out every Saturday, so there'll be a different topic each time, and who maybe we'll have a couple of guests on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching or listening.